Hey guys, Rob and George here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe, with my ongoing a closer look into the X-Files Season 2, Episode 16. Yes, I had a look. I'm going to do the best I can, because this weekend I've just been hit hard. So between the medicine and everything else, show goes on, right? I'm going to do my best. But thankfully, this is a colony, directed by, Nick Mark. One episode, I think, only in the entirety of the X-Files. One episode. But written by David Duchovny, who I completely forgot will get his directorial debut with The Unnatural on my birthday, April the 25th, in 99, which is fascinating. He'll direct 3 episodes, totally, somehow, either I didn't know that or I forgot. Colony is, I was going to say, thankfully, is the first of a 2-parter. Second time we see, after when the end credits begin, to be continued. February 10th, 1995, Colony drops. It is, I'm going to do my best here. I may have more complete thoughts when I do the second part, which is Endgame. Directed by Rob Bowman and written by longtime producer Frank Spotness. So I'm just I'm gonna lightly sketch over this one because the two really do go together here. So we begin with an opening scene with Mulder being brought in from a chopper. Something's happened to him. We don't know what's happened to him. It all will be explained, filled in. But he is in emergency state, and they are about to, as the doctors get him and they're doing everything to save his life, of course, Scully shows up, knowing full well that what they're going to do is going to kill him. And so it's sort of how it opens. And then you sort of leap out after the opening credits, and you're out in the Arctic. I'm pretty sure it's the Arctic. And you got this guy's on a boat. You see a light in the sky, ends up being a ship, crashes into the water. A body's retrieved, and it will become the infamous alien bounty hunter. You know what's funny about this series? I'm only like a little over halfway in season 2, and the part that's blowing my mind away is how much of the myth, the arc, has been laid down so early. I thought this developed a lot later. Not like, meaning 6, 7-ish late. I mean, just later than 2. As much as this. I didn't remember the alien bounty hunter being introduced this early on, which is Brian Thompson, which is interesting. We best know him from the film Cobra as the night slasher. An awesome actor, man. He's got that Cold War KGB look going on, man. And this episode, especially as it leads into the next one, really does have sort of an espionage, spy, Cold War thriller sort of feel. It's at least that's what I got, right? So Alien Bounty Hunter is here to basically clean up a mess, I guess. And very quickly we catch up with Mulder, who has been made aware that there has been multiple deaths in abortion clinics. Now remember, at the time, this was sort of in the news. This was happening. And so they sort of integrate that a little bit here as a plot device to move us in. But there is obviously, it's the X-Files, so there was way more going on. We find out that these guys, these doctors who work in abortion clinics, they're identical twins, or at least in appearance, they're identical. And so they're being killed one by one. And Mulder and Scully, I'm sorry, my mind, they quickly get on the case. Albeit they weren't directed to. And that creates a whole lot of problems because a fellow FBI agent will die at the hands of the alien bounty hunter. Of course, no one knows who this guy is. We start to kind of figure this out towards the end of the second one, right? And this does that on a pretty good cliffhanger, where Scully is sort of put into a really, really awkward situation. But as a result of that death of the FBI agent, my voice, I know I probably sound horrible. someone is feeding them information, and so they go on the trail. Eventually, this CIA agent shows up, and as a result of that, they think they got help, but they don't realize that. Spoiler alert: this is the alien bounty hunter camouflaged as anyone he can be, and so he ultimately will use the two to help him track down the rest. The story is slowly kind of coming together, and that leads us to the point where ultimately they will find the others, and then we see the introduction of Samantha. Has she returned? This is an interesting component of the story that sort of brings that dimension of Mulder, and so she comes in, and it doesn't take long for you to figure out that this is really probably not the real Samantha. In fact, there are identical twins of Samantha. So something is happening. It is either of extraterrestrial leanings of where the art goes, or it's something much more realistic on the ground. Conspiracy, government. And so you kind of bring that whole dynamic. And I'll just say this, because I can tell I'm getting to the end of what I can do. You get to the point where Mulder, you never really bought Mulder's acceptance that this was really Samantha. It just seemed something. It's almost like he was directed to be at like maybe 75% wishful thinking, but a full quarter, yeah, this probably isn't gonna work out the right way. It is, I don't know, it's kind of a vibe I got. And ultimately in the end, you see this as Mulder is faced with that really this isn't his real sister. There's something else much more devious going on, but it does bring in for the first time his parents, so we could see them. And I'm just trying to think of other things that we see for the first time. So Samantha's back. You got that whole thing going on, which does roll over into the second episode, I think, if I remember right. Cloud of Medicine. A lot of intrigue, like I said, a lot of Cold War espionage, spy, thriller, assassin intrigue. It is a pretty neat story. I got the feeling, I think I'm going to end about here. I got the feeling there's a scene with Mulder where I think he's having to tell his dad. There's a scene that takes place on a bridge where ultimately there has to be an exchange. Scully has been abducted by the alien bounty hunter, and the alien bounty hunter wants the exchange for Samantha. So there's this exchange on the bridge. Goes wrong. Presumably both fall to their death off the bridge. Mulder has to tell his dad. Just as Samantha's come back into our life, she is now gone again. But I got this weird feeling. I'll leave it here, I guess. What would happen if Mulder really did get his sister back? It feels like his entire amount of purpose and motivation would be gone for pursuing the X-Files. Like, this is what drives him. The search for his sister is what drives him into all the spider-webbed area of facts of anything and everything that's X-Files. And you almost kind of get this weird sort of empty feeling that if this really is Samantha, what's the purpose for driving forward? She plays that much of a part. That's my thought. But anyways, I'm going to go before I die. Not really, but I do feel like it. So, anyways, I hope I kind of, part 2, Endgame. Hopefully I'll be in a way better shape to kind of talk about that, but bring in the first one back in a little bit and tie up. It's great. One of two-parter. David Duchovny writing for the first time. Awesome. And trying to think. I think that's it. That's it. As always, we end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be useful to you.